something hanging under there. Dude, that was hilarious.
Dude, I thought it was gonna go a whole lap because it was using the banking. I thought it was gonna just keep going around the corner.
We had the wheel cranked and we were all highly concerned.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back again to the KSR YouTube channel. And I've been slacking on putting up videos. Those of you that have subscribed to our channel, you may have noticed that already. So I wanted to shoot a video just to kind of show you a little bit of what's been going on. You know, just give you an update, because I've been wanting to do a little bit better job putting up YouTube videos, and I haven't. So you guys might have seen, some of you probably saw my Facebook status, like I went down and I was a part of the Freedom Factory shoot with Cletus and everybody, and that was me driving the golf cart. So yeah, the golf cart's finished. I've got a ton of footage that I need to edit up and make a video out of. But right after I got back from that shoot, I came down with some kind of cold stuff, and I've been like not feeling all that great, been real congested, like voice sounded all stupid, and like was just not feeling all that great. And kind of when I get to that, I've still got work here at the shop that we've got to get done. So that kind of takes over my priority, and I kind of don't worry about doing too much with the videos. But just thought I'd give you, walk through the shop and show you guys an update of what we've been working on and some of the progress we've made on Richard's 4th gen F-body here that we're doing the Turbo LS 5.3 deal in. We got the front end all done. The side from where we're going to mount the turbo, I haven't quite finalized that yet. Turbo radiator intercooler, but we've got the engine mount done for the front motor plate. We did a dash bar because it did not have a dash bar. We got the manual brake conversion done, which we probably can't see a whole heck of a lot. You can kind of see, I guess the camera adjusted. But we did this dash bar in. It's tied right to the factory piece there, so it kind of sturdies that up. We got the ECU, the Holley ECU mounted over there. Used a TRZ ECU mount, which I've actually got another one right over here that we're putting in the dart. Real nice piece, already notched to fit a roll bar, so you just zip it on there real quick. ECU mount. So I think we've got a race date for this one, tentatively towards the end of April. So let's see if we can get that one done. This one also has intentions of making the same race at the end of April. We got a lot of work to do. So as you can kind of see, we've got quite a bit of roll cage stuff done. The foundation and some of these bars of the cage are often some of the harder ones to get done when you're doing cage work, especially like something like this inner frame rail. This is all part of the 25.3 spec. We've got our mounting boxes for where the chassis is going to land, and the owner of this car has been posting some pictures on some of the Mopar groups, and it's kind of funny. People have their opinions about, oh, you're not going to be able to weld it because it's fitting so close. We've got tricks for that, people. I mean, it's not like we just started doing this stuff. So I have footage that I've shot of this car as well, and like some of the roll cage fabrication. And when we actually do the video of the car build itself, you'll see how we do that. So the pieces of the cage get taken out, like in kind of like different modules. Like the way we're building this one, I'll be able to break a tack weld down here, and then the cage will go down, and then I'll be able to weld any of the roof bars, the funny car cage. So the funny car cage is getting done probably next. You can see the way we've got the dash bar runs completely side to side. So this bar will come out with the door module, and we'll have kind of like the roof structure that'll be like attached to the main hoop, and then we'll drop the roof structure down, and I'll be able to weld all of that, and then we'll put it back up into place, weld these, do the door. The floor comes out in a module, and or at least doesn't have to come out. All it's got to do is give me 2.5 to 3 inches to where I can roll the welder around the joint and get the thing TIG welded in there really nice, and then get it on. You know, then you move on to the next module. And like with the very involved chassis specs, you got to think ahead a lot as far as what you're doing for, all right, well, if I stick this bar in, well, then I can't end up welding the top of this bar. And like these chassis specs, right in the spec, they tell you it's got to be welded all the way around, with a couple of exceptions that can have an extra gusset, but I'd rather just weld everything all the way around so it's strong. Everything is done like it's supposed to be done. So got a 2010 Mustang in that's it's been out back for a little while we waited for the engine to come back. We build like your more standard type engines, you know, LS, small block, big block Chevrolet. I'm a big Oldsmobile guy, so we do some Oldsmobile stuff. But the mod motor stuff, I'm just gonna like give that to someone who's like a professional with the mod motor stuff. And this engine, it broke the driver's side cam shaft. And when it did, it broke almost right through the front cam journal. And so then the front of the cam went down and dug in, and it destroyed the first cam journal, wrecked a bunch of valves, and it kind of stinks because it really wasn't that old of an engine. We put it in, I think 3.5 years ago. Tore up all kinds of stuff. So unfortunately we had to pull it out, send it back down. It's all back up fresh now. We had we should be running today, and then I'm going to drive it for a few days, make sure that everything's happy, and get it sent back over to its owner over in St. Augustine. And the Viper, which I think was one of our last videos when we broke it at Sebring, well, we figured out what we broke, and it's all of the ring gear bolts. Like busted them things slap off. And we've done this before, and I mean, we Loctite them. The only thing we haven't done, and it will be happening on this next assembly, we're going to drill and safety wire all of the ring gear bolts. I mean, these are good, you know, ARP ring gear bolts, good stuff. And one thing that I kind of got a kick out of, you guys may too, when this thing blew up, crash, when it blew up the ring gear, stop moving, it threw and wedged one of the ring gear bolt heads so hard that it actually left a perfect indentation of the ARP bolt head in the case. There's actually, I don't know if it'll show up on the video, but you can see a backwards ARP right there in the case, and you can see it whacked it there with another piece, and actually hit it so hard that it cracked the housing. It's aluminum housing. No worries, just weld that back up and go on to the next one. You know, it's a little damaged inside the housing, but none of the critical bearing areas are wounded. All the races look good, all the bearings look good. Even the ring gear, which may sound kind of crazy, the ring gear is not hurt. So it sheared all the bolts, and then basically just the ring gear was spinning, but it wasn't actually driving the carrier that then drives the wheels. So we're gonna put it all back together, safety wire the ring gear bolts, and go racing again. So we had pretty good results that day at the test. So hopefully we've got Trans Am season opener February 29th through March 2nd. So we'll be down there with Lee and the Viper. So hopefully all of that, I'm waiting on a few pieces to come in to get it up and going, but then we'll be reassembling and going on from there. So the NC Miata that we did all the cage and stuff on, it's just about ready to go racing. It's the guys that own it have been testing at our local track, the Firm, which that's their chassis sticker, or their vehicle inspection sticker. We've got to route fire cables. What else have I got to do? Just a bunch of little tiny odds and ends stuff. In fact, I've got a punch sheet right back here. Kind of keep track of what all we've got to do. It blew a clutch up first time at the track. You know, brand new stuff. Just the rivets that hold one of the clutch pads in broke out and threw the clutch disc, or the part of the clutch disc off, and it went to acting weird, and so all that got fixed. The performance has been really good, I think. The guys that have built it, you know, we've got some other champ cars that we campaign, and like, it's this thing, for being a 4-cylinder and a smaller car, it's hanging right there with our bigger, but our 6-cylinder cars. So you probably saw in the back of the video, got the Dale truck here, and Cletus and I have been talking about trying to fix it. He said it kind of had some handling issues and stuff, and maybe a little bit of tuning to touch up. And it's got a, when I drove it down there at the Freedom Factory, kind of felt like there was a lot of work that needed to be done on it. Anytime you've got a vehicle and you want it to do something well, like whatever its intended purpose is. And when this thing was being used, well, it was a circle track truck. And so it's got an alignment in it that is designed to turn left. And some of the things you do with a circle track alignment, you actually skew the rear end in the car to help lead it into the corners. One big thing that makes the handling change a lot is how the front camber is set up. So the camber, typically you have negative camber on a car that you're going to have on the road. Any kind of performance car, you're going to road race, you run negative camber so that when you go through the corner, the tire flattens out. Well, on this truck, it had positive camber, so the top of the tire was out, and it also had negative caster. So the caster was actually, if you look through the upper ball joint to the lower ball joint, the upper ball joint was actually ahead of the lower ball joint, which for a circle track, it's great. Like, you let go of the steering wheel, the thing dives into the corner, everything's great. Well, when you want to drive this thing on the street, take it to a road course, screw around with it, it wasn't predictable at all. Hit the brakes, it does something different. At the Freedom Factory deal, I tried to do a rolling burnout with it. So I was dragging the front brakes, kick the clutch loose in second gear, and was doing a nice burnout. And as soon as the tires get to spinning, the thing just starts turning right. I'm like, probably scared some of the people that were around the thing. But in seeing that, it's just stuff that needs to be fixed, and it's really not a major deal. Like, I've got to do, I'm going to need to change probably the left front upper control arm because of how they, just how they set these chassis up. They kind of design it in to have more adjustability around the specs that they're going to be using. Well, when we're trying to bring it back to something that turns left and right, we've got to make some changes to get it better. And it's just going to be changing the setup just a little bit. Yes, it's going to lose, the thing's not really a competitive circle track vehicle anymore, so I'm going to try and make it to where it does a little bit of everything well, and does it predictably instead of being just a nightmare with which way is it going this time. So anyways, that's the shop kind of walk around and update. Hopefully I can kick the rest of this cold out, and we'll get back to getting caught up in the shop. I always feel like we're behind, and we kind of always are behind. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we'll try to keep you guys updated with videos. Certainly appreciate everybody watching us. Like and share and subscribe and all that stuff you're supposed to do. YouTube channels, hit the bell so you get notified when we put a video out. We really appreciate everybody watching the shop videos, and we'll see you next time.